America's game, America's pastime are no longer phrases that will be applying to baseball because they shouldn't in the year 2022, and I'm sure moving forward that they will never be appropriate again, especially when you look at other sports that are having great growth and popularity and also just enhancements in their game. As well as there are several sports that are probably better representations of America than baseball at this point. And so what I will be doing for today's English change is shifting the meaning of those phrases. They will no longer pertain to baseball because they will now be about football. And before I go into all of this, football is not even my favorite sport. Is it America's favorite sport? And is it the most American sport out there? Yeah, I would definitely make that argument. So this is really an Intuit flow and meaning change rather than actually doing a whole lot with words, which is something I haven't done a whole lot in this series thus far, but I think this is a great example to go into. Now, baseball, it's a solid sport. It's good, but it is fallen way behind in the entertainment factor and the pace of all the other sports that have developed and improved over time. And baseball has not. They're very old-fashioned. There is some things to be said for that, and it can still be appealing in certain senses and in certain ways. However, having the wide appeal and just being as good as the other sports, it does not meet those metrics. And as much as I am all about basketball and I think it's the greatest sport and I think that it's going to grow and grow and grow, it's a universal game. You look at most of the top players in the league, they're actually not American, a lot of them. Like Giannis, Luka, Embiid, Jokic. I mean, there's so much international talent just popping in the NBA, as well as a lot of its popularity is outside of the US. Football, however, outside of America, is always referred to as American football. And football is outrageously popular in America. And yeah, it's played at some levels outside of the States, but there's not a single league even approaching the NFL. And it just feels like such an American move to take like the most popular sports name on the planet and then just make your own version of it. Like, that is so American, just to like rip something through and act like you made it and it's the greatest thing ever. And I mean, I don't know if I can really say they're wrong. American football is tremendous. It also seems so American because it's so like stupid and intellectual at the same time. There's so much strategy and intellectual warfare going on the field, but at the same time, these people are just ramming into each other, ruining their brains, and potentially harming themselves for years to come. And they know it. And everyone still wants to do it because it's that great. Baseball has nowhere near that effect, and it does not captivate nearly as many people as American football does, and it shouldn't at this point. I've talked about entertainment ratios on this channel a little bit because we are living in a time where entertainment is more accessible and rapid than any period ever. You can have something fascinating going on in front of you at all times with ease. You don't have to sit at a ballpark for 4 hours to maybe see a couple good plays. And honestly, a lot of baseball is compelling and great, but the pace is so brutal while still taxing on players, enough to the point that management will withhold greatness just to try to protect their asset, like taking pitchers out when they're 6 outs away from a perfect game. And baseball just doesn't compete at this point anymore compared to the other sports, and it's definitely still on a downward trajectory. So just because you got a title way back when doesn't mean you get it forever. That's what this whole series is about. America's game, America's pastime, football now. American football, damn it. Baseball, get on out. It's been way more than 3 strikes. You should know the rules by now. Now for the comment of the day. It comes from Gavin. He says, "Don't desert me in the desert, please." In the wording of my TikTok and my tweet of yesterday's Daily Do, I used these same words and combinations as well as dessert, probably in a little bit more interesting fashion. So Gavin didn't really bring us anything new here. That was outside of the obvious. He gets the random ass amount of innings that are in a baseball game out of 105. Next, the song of the day is Like I Ain't by Tech9. This is another song where it's like super self-confident. It's Tech9 really talking his shit, just rolling through all of his achievements. Such an empowering, awesome song. The music video is also pretty cool. I didn't send it as the song of the day because it's got some minute-long periods where the song is actually not playing and it's just other video elements. So I went with something that was closer to like the pure song, which was supposed to be a lyric video from Tech9, the actual channel. And it says lyrics in the title, but there was actually zero visual representation of lyrics in this lyric video, which I find so bizarre. Like, I mean, it's in the description, but you can do that in anything, and it doesn't make it a lyric video. So yeah, that's kind of whack, but the song is incredible. Then the video of the day is like the only good thing to come out of baseball in recent history. It is a Kent Murphy lesson. In this one, he talks about what to do if you get beaned. Anyway, hit by a pitch, what you should do. Really funny stuff. All these Kent Murphy videos are great. It's like a satirical asshole coach. So even though I just shat on baseball a whole lot, if you actually do like baseball, these are a pretty great watch.